Alright, first problem we have a squared minus 10a plus 21 equals 0. What are the solutions for this quadratic? One way you could do it is factor it. Got your area model. A and A, your first and your last. So 7 times 3 is 21. And also 7 plus 3 is 10. So we got a negative and we got a positive. Has to multiply to be the positive. So both going to be negative. Alright, so that'll give me A minus 7. A minus 3. A minus 7 equals 0 using our 0 property. Add 7. Add 3. Next problem. Find the solutions or solution for this quadratic, or the zeros. So we got x plus 4 squared equals 25. Take the square root. X plus 4 equals 5. X plus 4 is negative 5. Subtract 4 minus 4. X equals negative 9. Alright. And that's how you solve it. You just solve that one. Alright, next. This is solving algebraically or with square roots. So my first step will be add 4 to both sides. Add the square root. Gives me 2 and negative 2. Next one, find the vertex of the graph. Or excuse me, the minimum and maximum, which would be the vertex. Right here we know this is going up, so it'll have a minimum at the bottom. Our minimum is the lowest or highest point. Or excuse me, our vertex would be our lowest or highest point. This one in this case would be a minimum of 0, 0. Next, it says what is the ball's maximum height? Right here, one way you can put this in your calculator and find the turning point. Another way is you can use negative b over 2a. So I'll get negative 48 divided by 2 times negative 16. Alright. And that'll give me 1.5. Alright, so we have multiple answers 1.5. So I'll substitute it back in. Negative 16 times 1.5 squared plus 48 times 1.5 plus 8. And that gives me 44. So we got 8, 44, or excuse me, not 8, 1.5, and 44. Next right here, use the 0 property. So we'll have x minus 8 equals 0, and 4x plus 2 equals 0, plus 8 plus 8. X equals 8 minus 2. 4x minus 2 divided by 4. X equals negative 2/4, or x equals negative 1/2. Alright. Next problem. Same problem. Move on. Right here, find your zeros. Alright, we can factor this one. or you can use the quadratic formula if you want to. Just find your zeros. Or you can use mode 5-3. So let's use mode 5-3. You get 6 and -2 using mode 5-3. Alright, next one, we got to fill this in. Alright, velocity of 135 feet per second. Starts at 56 feet. So our equation is h equals -16t squared plus 135 feet squared. Excuse me. X, I used t plus 56. Alright, we know A is -16, B is 135, C is 56. So if we're going to use the quadratic formula, -135 plus or minus square root 135 squared minus 4 times -16 times 56 all over 2 times -16. Alright. And so you put that in your calculator. Alright. And you'll get 8.8 and -0.39. So we know it'd be 8.8. And there's our equation. There we go. Alright, next. Alright, we got x squared. So we want to get this in factored form. So let's use our box. -6. Alright, so we know to get 6 it'd be 3 and 2. And 3 plus 2 is also 5. We got a positive and a negative. Well, hold on. That's 6 and 1. We can subtract to get 5. And we got a positive. Alright, we got a positive and we got a negative. So now we're going to have to subtract. So I have 6 and -1. 6x minus x. That will give me 5 in the middle. So I have x plus 6 and x minus 1. Our x-intercepts here would be the opposite of that. So our x-intercepts would be -6 and -1. Or excuse me, +1. Alright, so here we go. Hold on 1 second. Yeah. Disregard how they've got the 0 in front there, guys. That faked me out. Alright. Here we go. Let's look at this one. You can factor it. You can use the quadratic formula, plate the square, however you want to do it. -27. Z and Z. 9 times 3. -9 gives it -9z and 3z. Alright. So right there be z minus 9 and z plus 3. Z minus 9 equals 0. Z plus 3 equals 0. Add 9. Z equals 9 minus 3. Z equals negative 3. 9 and negative 3. Alright, here we go. This one is a quadratic formula. If I did that, it'd be A equals 3, B equals 3, C equals negative 6. We could also factor this one if you wanted to. If you wanted to factor, you multiply. You could just set the box up like we've been doing. So that'd be negative 3 plus or minus square root 3 squared minus 4 times 3 times negative 6 all over 2 times 3. 3. We're getting x equals 1, x equals negative 2, or z, same thing. Right here, it says in planning and inspection of the square flower garden in City Park. So square flower garden, so square is important. The east side of the original garden is increased by 7, so we got our square garden. X, if we add 7 to it, alright, the new total area of the garden is 144. Find the length to the east side of the garden. So right here we have 7 plus, or let's write that different, x plus 7 squared. Alright, because we squared, because the square's area is s squared, equals 144. Alright, solve this, take the square root. Alright, right here we're going to get 12 and negative 12, x plus 7, subtract 7, x equals 5, subtract 7, equals negative 19. So we're going to use 5, so we got to plug that back in there. 7 plus 5 is 12. Alright, right here on this one, first step, we got to move the 5 over to get our 0 on one side. Alright, and then we could solve by mode 5-3. We could solve by factoring. Factoring would be quick. X times x, and then 5 times 1, negative 5, so negative 5x and x, that would give me negative 4. So x minus 5 equals 0, and x plus 1 equals 0. Subtract 1, add 5, x equals 5, and x equals negative 1.